Artie Lange's reporting exciting breaking news. Old Vincenzo special report from the 33rd floor high atop the gorgeous, beautiful $6.69 studio. Old Vincenzo for free has released again. Gold, silver mining hedge fund, personal ETF, life-changing wealth transfer well underway, and information has been suppressed by mainstream media and financial news outlets. The time is now to take action to prepare and financially take advantage of the wealth transfer with this historic 100 years silver bull market that is currently taking place. This is a free journey with a free subscription down below. Like the channel, share it to get the truth, education, information, and integrity for free super chat to support channel peace and love.
Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, bell notification, and most importantly, a free subscription down below. Good 20th of May, if we can believe this already, approaching the Memorial Day holiday weekend with an overcast, increasingly warm and humid air mass with a southerly wind of 15 to 25 miles an hour, gusting to 30, with some high overcast and cumulonimbus clouds at about 44,669 feet. We ask you to bell notification, comment down below, subscribe, and share for that education, entertainment, truth, and integrity you would come in to expect and deserve from the #1 XRP gold and silver bullion insider here on social media and exclusively on YouTube. And we've had a volatile day in the Bitcoin price as the Fed and the markets are trying to price in interest rates cuts at the end of the year, when they were pricing in they were pricing in 5 rate cuts this year. Now they're trying to figure out how many rate cuts, as there was speculation and conjecture and conjuncture and nonsense and innuendos that they wouldn't cut rates at all, which is bearish for stocks and risk assets. But now they're starting to price in the gold market, the bullion and silver market, and the mining sphere that have been skyrocketing of a rate or 2 rate cuts towards the end of the year, and maybe the first one in September. And the rate and the talk this morning was sort of confirming that. And now you're starting to see some of the risk assets, the Bitcoin up 2.5%, Ethereum up 1.9%. But the small cap cryptos are still not getting the buying pressure, as the momentum and the retail traders aren't in there yet. They're only confident enough to buy the major market coins like the Bitcoin and like the Ethereum and such, the major market cryptos. The stock market hasn't really done anything. The gold and silver market has been all over the place today. The US dollar has been mostly even the last 24 hours, but I would not want to be a day trader trying to trade the news, because at any moment you're going to get a short squeeze, because you have we just broke a 13-year high in the price of silver on Friday when we got over the $31 mark, a price that wasn't hit since, I believe, back here in 2013 or 2014, back over here in this pump. But at some point, there's so much more. And here's the thing about silver, is most of the trading in the price of silver bullion is they're naked shorts or they're naked calls or puts, right? Shorts would be a naked put, or calls on the going long, because they don't physically own the bullion that they're buying the calls for and the puts for. So you got all these short sellers that have stacked up for years. And this is going to have a massive short squeeze at the end of this bull market, where you could see a $10 day price up in silver, right? Because you're going to get all these heavily people that have been shorting for years. Ever since 2011, blow off top, they've been shorting this and shorting this and putting this and putting this. But what happens when you get to a level where those puts get forced out, not because they want to, but because they get bullied out and liquidated? And now the people on the other end of that trade, instead of wanting the cash for that put that they got bullied out, or the short they got bullied out on, but the people on the other end that are receiving the profit on this because they get the shares back, what if they ask, like they're allowed to, for the shares back in physical bullion? And all these people that were naked shorting with puts don't have the physical bullion to place the delivery that the man on the customer on the other end of that transaction is demanding. Well, that puts an even bigger squeeze, because now they got to go into the physical open market, and that person or that establishment or that hedge fund has to buy the physical bullion to deliver it. So not only do they have to sell their puts expire out of the money and then they turn into buys, they have to go into the physical market now, out of the paper market, and buy the physical bullion, which is going to pump the price up even higher to pay off their puts on a squeeze if the other end doesn't want cash but wants the physical bullion instead, right? And I think that's going to happen, and I think we're going to make a very, very fast run, and it's going to seem like it happened overnight, just like this move right here, which has been a phenomenal move in the price of silver from its bottom, its local bottom in September of 2022. In about a year and a half, we've risen 81.96% in the price of silver. And I think we're going to keep going all the way up until 187.26% move until we hit and exceed the $50 mark. And that might be the level right around $50 where you have a massive short squeeze and you go from 40 to 60 to $100 really quick. And the mining sphere, if you've been investing for years, like old Vincenzo's been investing for years, your portfolio would look similar to this. I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I play one on this radio show. These are only my own personal opinions on the market. I am not endorsing, telling you to buy, sell, or accumulate anything. I'm just giving you my own personal thoughts and opinions on the financial market and showing you for free, not behind a paywall like so many of these other gurus and get-rich-quick scheme investing, trading tip classes and whatnot that they put. I'm giving you what I do for free, and I've been investing in these companies since 2019, picked up some of them farther along the way and some of them at the very beginning. But here's what we've accumulated in my own personal hedge fund that I've created for myself. We've accumulated 200 shares of Fortuna Silver, up 100%. And this was coming into today on the close Friday. We have 200 shares of First Majestic Silver at $4.91, up 63%. 300 shares of First Majestic Silver at $6.24, up 26%. 73 shares of Pan America Silver at $16.68, up 30%. Pan America Silver, 42 shares, $25.81, down 20%. Then we have various buys of B2 Gold, 333 average on 1,301 shares, down 12%. B2 Gold 400 shares at 316, down 820, because this one I've been buying since 2019, and I've never sold any of them. B2 Gold 400 shares, $2.86, up 1.2%. B2 Gold 548 shares at $3.38, minus 14%. Barrick Gold 224 shares, 17.11%. up 4%. Barrick Gold on 125 shares, up 5%. Kinross Gold, 400 shares, up 53%. Rivian, down 25% on 426 shares. That's a very long-term play. We're in accumulation phase still, below $10, but it's above $10, so we're not accumulating now. And then we have some VOD, right? So that's what's going on there. And if you were accumulating with me, we've had some ups, we've had some downs, but the portfolio is doing fantastic right now. And I would not want to be day trading any of these as the price has been fluctuating 4, 5, 10% intraday. And you have to just be in and enjoy the ride. But I still do think there's great buying opportunities in B2 Gold and Barrick Gold, although I'm not a financial advisor. But to me, those are still very, very cheap. The Bitcoin price on the rundown here, on the news, the enthusiasm with the news on the threat of rate cuts. You can see if we zoom out of the Bitcoin price, we're breaking bullish now. We're trying to confirm back north of this rising channel that we briefly dipped below, formed what looks like a inverse head and shoulders there, horizontal neckline, but you could have said you had one of them here, like a little horizontal neckline or a vertical neckline more there. But on this pump, if we can confirm up above, you could use this to ignite you back into a double top, triple top, nearing all-time highs, and try to push and continue bullish to the upside. If you can't continue to get the forceful pump and you start to trade sideways and up, you might get squeezed and eventually make a big dump to the downside, which would be a shock to the Bitcoin system. After we've had a phenomenal from local bottom to local top, we've had a 20.5% move, better than $11,500. But what happens if you start to stagnate out up here and then you have a quick reversal of 13 or 14%? That would be a shock to the market, and that would be something that I would pay attention to. Shiba Coin is continuing to descend after its massive blow off top regionally and locally. XLM, you can see after this big flush right here, we've been trading in this pattern, and what you could say is you're in this accumulation zone here, and you're either going to I know you people don't like when I do this, but you have two choices. You're going to have a quick run up to 12.6 cents and try to get bullish if you can get on top of this 12.6 cents, right? if you can get on top of this 12.6 cents right here, see this right here? If you can make a big run up and get on top of this 12.6 cents, then you can get on top of this and you can make a structure that looks something like this, where you could fill in a gap here and then continue bullish and maybe continue short-term bullish and try to get up near this 15.7 cents where we were talking about. To get bullish, you would have to come back all the way on top of this, hold it as support and continue up. But if you can do that on a smaller level at the 12-cent level and hold that 12-cent level right here, that is short-term bullish, and then you can maybe make a run at that 12 cents. Or the flip side, you're going to come down and really quick trade down in here. The moving averages are going to get on top of you, and it's going to force you down closer to this last line of defense, to the shithouse at 7 cents. But with the market structure right now, I would say you're more likely to trade more to the bullish side than the bearish side, seeing as the market sentiment is starting to think rate cuts are going to come at the end of the year, and risk assets, which cryptos are, which closely correlates with the NASDAQ, I would say that's bullish short term for these coins, and I would be looking for some sort of a bounce, right? Could things always go horribly wrong? Absolutely. I'm not endorsing you to get in or out of these, but if you're averaging into your positions, you should be doing quite well over the course of a few years, just like we do in our mining stocks. But you can see the bottom part of this bottom part of this uptrending rising channel is where we've been stagnated on ever since the great dump back here on that faithful weekend and day leading in around the early May or early March timeframe, right? So that's what we're looking at there. And if you want to get bullish, you got to get the buyers to come in, get you back on top of this 57 cents, and then even get you back up top or closer to the top part of this blue trading zone, preferably on the top side of it, near about 69.5 to 70 cents, because that could be the catalyst that leads you to try to get back and make a full adder or run back up from lower support to major upper resistance in this major long extended 2-year rising channel. But at first, you would have to clear over these moving averages, which I think you're going to do, and make a quick run back to 57 cents, just like you did over the course of a few weeks separation right back in here, right? A couple weeks apart. I think you make a run up for the third time and then have a big hyper pump, and that could be a 15 to 30% move over the course of the next few weeks. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love.